Hi, I'm Maria Green. I'm gonna show you kind of a grungy spread, like the ones that I flipped right here. I'm pulling out some papers from a paperback book, getting old and yellow. I'm gonna glue that down. I had no plan when I started this other than using some particular pieces of paper that you will see farther in. I like all kinds of different textures and paper. I try to use as much as I can in my spreads. Here I have some old scores, music scores, that I found in an antique shop. So I'm pulling out some of the scores and cover picture. The paper is very brittle actually. I like the vintage look, so we have this girl here that kind of looks like from the beginning of the maybe 1900s. So pretty much try to cover the whole page or parts of the page anyway. Here's a music score called A Beautiful Lady in Blue. Yeah, that's pretty. So I'm putting that at the top. This piece of paper is pretty glossy on the outside since it's the cover. And I started putting down some paint. This is unbleached titanium white. I use a spackle knife and then I wipe off with a baby wipe or a tissue to even things out. I don't cover everything. Here I found some old stamps from Romania. And I decided since it's a lady in blue, I should use the blue lady there on the cover of the score. I'm using Mod Podge. I use a lot of Mod Podge actually. That holds it down really well. It's good medium. And then the stamps, just random. Again, I don't really have a plan here, but in my mind I made up this story about these two sisters and have some interest in music, but they're separated. Here I'm using some gray paint. Just wiping that around with a baby wipe. And here I'm using some yellow oxide. And rubbing it all around. I don't worry too much about covering things up. If they don't show up at the end, that's okay by me. Everything you add to the page adds energy and interest. And here I'm putting down some black just to have a little more contrast and get that grungy effect. It's interesting to make a journal spread without much of a plan. Here I had taken some paperback pages and actually burnt them at the sink. I went to the sink and had some running water so this paper burns very quickly. So I had a lighter and burned it, and then put it under the water to kill the flames, and the paper was very wet, so I put it outside in the sun to dry. It's kind of a fun effect. They didn't really add much to the story in my mind, but I like the grungy look. I had to be careful when I glued them down because of the burnt edges. They're very brittle. Ended putting some Mod Podge over the pages too to protect that brittle. And here's a piece of an old telegram that I cut from a Victorian book. So somebody is contacting the sisters. Here I'm putting down some white because I wanted to soften the contrast between everything. Sorry about the noise in the background. I turned on the fan and I forgot to turn it off. Yeah, I'm trying to put some charcoal on the blue lady, but it's glossy paper, so charcoal doesn't stick very well. I wanted to outline her silhouette just a little bit, stand out more. There I removed all the charcoal. I decided to age that telegram part a little bit. So here are two sisters. They're separated by space and time. And I could see one could have written a telegram to the other. I'll just make that up as I go. As I put the spread together, it just comes into my mind as an idea. And here I wrote, "They never met again." Some more white to blend in that strong permanent marker black. A little more yellow oxide to blend in a little more brighter color. I like the outline thing. And I wrote there, singing tonight on stage. And I make it like a sign. There's a Faber-Castell white tip pen. It works pretty good if you go over the same lines several times. Then you can get a pretty white. Otherwise it's hard to find white permanent markers that are any good. So I decided to put the word sisters and here. I'm actually using a Uniball Signo white pen. Not permanent, but it sure has a sharp white line. I'm thinking if it needs anything else. I decided to make that sign stand out a little more and draw the silhouette. It's a lot of fun. If you don't have any plans, it can come out as a really interesting story, actually. You know that with abstract art, there is really no wrong ways of doing it. It's kind of fun to try out different techniques and different surfaces. Here I just wrote my sister in the telegram. And some burnt, some yellow oxide to make it look just a little older. And that's it. Thank you for watching.